Welcome to Crocheting with Dakota. Today I am going to show you how to do the chevron stitch pattern. I have 3 different examples here. This one here in the big blanket is more of a relaxed chevron, meaning that this V here is more splayed rather than a more severe V. It's also using half double crochet, and I have several colors. This one here has a more severe V. It's also a granny stripe pattern, as you can see there. And then this one here is using a much bulkier yarn, and it is single crochets and chains. Now, in order to do the chevron pattern without getting all messed up and confused, I have found it easier if I graph it out first. So I'm going to show you how to do that. This is an example, and I'm going to take you through this step by step. So let's get started with that. Now, your length of your chevrons can be any length you want. I am using 10 stitches as an example, and I'm using single crochet as an example. So let's get started. I am going to use purple for the chains. Now my symbol and for the chain, and also in just about any crochet pattern that I have found, they use the same symbol representing chain. Okay, so it's a little oblong circle. It could also be like a perfect circle depending on whatever pattern you're using. So let's get started here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm making this sideways or horizontal. That will become apparent a little bit later. And that counts as 1 for this row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now these here should be at the same place. Okay? Now, in order to get this V to work, you end up skipping stitches. For the relaxed chevron, I only skipped 1 stitch. For the more severe V, I skipped 2. In most other patterns for the chevron, you'll see skipping 2 as well. So 1, 2, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and now we're going to pretend that we're ending here. For the pattern, when you're actually making your blanket, this here will repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now to end here, we also need 1 more chain to represent how we get to continue on. So I'm actually going to use that here, and then our next color is going to represent our next row. And again, I'm using single crochet, and the symbol for that is a little X, like that. Okay, now we're going to continue on, and this is going to be on top of each one of these. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now at the top of your chevrons, of your pyramids, you're going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and then put another X into that same stitch. So you're going to go single crochet, chain, chain, single crochet, all into this top stitch here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we skip these two and move on to this stitch here. And there is no chain between these two. It's simply single crochet, single crochet. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chain, chain, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's your first row. So the things to point out here to remember most is that at your V's you skip 2 stitches and you go from one stitch to the other without a chain in between. And at the top you do your stitch, chain 2, and do another stitch, all into that same chain there. Okay? Now to move on, we are going to chain 1 and single crochet into this stitch here. You will skip your bottom stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now your 10th stitch is into this chain 2 space, and then you create another chain 2 space and do another stitch into that same chain 2 space there, and then you continue down. That counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're skipping these two and moving directly into this one. So like we skipped the chain 2 here, we're skipping these 2 stitches here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I count wrong there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What did I do wrong? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. 9. You're also going into this stitch here, and then into the chain 2 space. Sorry, my drawing was a little wonky. Okay, and then you're going to chain 2, and then do another stitch into this chain 2 space, just like you did over here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're skipping this stitch. Okay, if you did that one, then your blanket wouldn't end with vertical edges. It would be constantly going like this and just really weird looking. So we're going to chain and then move on to our next row, okay, by single crocheting into this stitch here. And you continue on, and remember when you get up here, it's your stitch, chain, chain, stitch. Now when you get down here, you stop here and you skip these 2 and you go on to your next one. Single crochet all the way up until you get to your chain 2 space, and then you go single crochet, chain, chain, single crochet, all in that same space there. And then you single crochet all the way down until you get to here, and you skip your last stitch. Okay, and then you would chain again, and you would start your next row by skipping that stitch, and you continue on until you get your blanket as big as you want. Now how this pattern repeats is that if this was continuing on, you would come down just like you would here. So you basically, this is your repeated pattern. you go down and you repeat, and instead of ending like this, you would continue on like if you were here until you get to this end. And this is how this end works. So that's how you graph it out. Now, to make changes as far as what stitches you're using, if you're not skipping any stitches in here, you can just do whatever stitch you want. However, always start with the same stitch, okay? So if you want to do double crochet, after you do your chain, instead of this blue line here, instead of this being single crochet, it would be double crochet. You can do triple crochet, you can do half double crochet, whatever stitch you want, but it has to be the same throughout. Because if you don't, when you lay this out here, this doesn't lay flat. You get like, it gets all wonky because down here will be tight and out here will be flayed out, because out here it gets looser the bigger the stitch you use. Trust me, I've tried it and it did not look right, and I had to undo the whole entire thing, and I got quite far. So that's one thing. And then for this one here where I was skipping stitches, to do that, instead of doing a stitch here, I would do a chain. Stitch, chain, stitch, chain, stitch, chain. So keep that consistent and you'll be okay. Okay, that's it for this video. This is it for part 1. Part 2, I will show you how to do single crochet as I showed you in this diagram, the most simplistic form possible. In part 2, I will take you through the skipping stitches with chains and how to do this one. And then in part 3, I will introduce how to change that into doing granny squares. Granny rows, excuse me. So yeah, see you in part 2. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. Bye.